I had no idea that one conversation with my manager would change me more than 2 years of fear ever had. The story of a neurotic. My name is John Mayer. I'm an impulsive neurotic. Anything can happen at work. What happened to me was something that stayed with me for a long time. One of my coworkers would flip me off every single time I went to lunch. During a 12-hour shift, I had 3 lunch breaks, so it happened over and over again. Every time I came back, I tried to ignore it. I acted like it didn't bother me, but inside it still got to me. After all, I'm a neurotic. Eventually, I managed to control my anger and hatred, but then my coworker found another way to provoke me. He started deliberately bumping into my shoulder whenever he walked by. That's when my anger turned into fear, shame, and resentment. I couldn't stop thinking that I had failed to stand up for myself, that I hadn't defended my dignity, that I hadn't fought back. When I got home, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying those moments in my head again and again. I spent the entire night replaying different scenarios in my head. I imagined what I would say to him, how I would respond, what I would do. In the end, I decided to follow the advice of my favorite psychologist. If you can solve a problem yourself, do it. If you can't, ask your manager for help. I chose the second option, not because I was afraid, but because I realized that if I wanted my life to change, I had to stop tolerating what I knew was wrong. In the past, I would stay silent. I would put up with it and hope the problem would eventually disappear on its own. But this time, I decided to take action. The next morning, I got into my car. I'd only managed to sleep for a few hours that night. I think you already know why. I arrived at work, but do you know what was the hardest part? It wasn't talking to my manager. It was simply getting out of the car. I sat in my car, unable to make myself open the door. There was only one thought running through my mind. If I don't get out of this car right now, I won't go to my manager. I'll just start the engine, turn around, and drive back home, and everything will stay exactly the same. I took a deep breath, opened the door, got out of the car, and walked straight toward my manager's office. I was shaking. It felt like I was about to collapse and throw up right there, but I kept walking toward the manager's office. I knew one thing for certain: if I didn't do it now, I probably never would. I walked into the office, closed the door behind me, and sat down. It was my first time doing something like this. My manager looked at me with a puzzled expression. "Did you need something?" he asked. For a few seconds, I just stared at the desk. Then I took a deep breath and finally managed to say, "I'm here to file a complaint." "All right," he replied calmly. "Let's hear what happened." I told him everything. He listened carefully and then said, "You did the right thing by coming here." From that moment on, I felt like a different person. Speaking became easier. The fear slowly faded away. We discussed the situation and filed the complaint together. Later, the coworker who had been harassing me faced the consequences. That's when I realized something important. Fear doesn't disappear before you act. It disappears after you act. Courage doesn't come before the first step. It comes because you take it. So if there's a problem in your life, don't keep postponing it. Deal with it. That first step might change you far more than you ever expected. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our next stories.